Hi, this is Sarah from Permanent Record Podcast. You can find us on Facebook at www.facebook.com/permrecordpodcast.
Thanks, Sarah. This is Brian from the Permanent Record Podcast, and you can find us on the internet at www.permanentrecordpodcast.com.
You can also follow us on Twitter. Our Twitter account is at PermRecordPod.
That's all great info. Thanks, Sarah. Here's the Rocket Dudes.
Blue Zone Podcast Network presents Permanent Record, an in-depth look at the classic albums of the 70s and 80s. Albums which have earned a permanent place of honor both in our hearts and in our record collections.
We are back, and to my right, I have a very festive-looking Dickens Village.
You most certainly do. I'm very jealous that you have such a good view of it from where you are.
Yep, a lot of Dickens Village houses and people out with lots of trees. To my left, I have a nice view of a tall Christmas tree. It's all lit up.
Yep, I can see that very well from where I'm sitting.
And in front of me, I have the view of my number one co-host, my favorite person to do an 80s new wave podcast with. It's the lovely Sarah.
Hi there.
Well, apologies to my friend Colby, who I also enjoy doing a podcast with on occasion. Sarah's just a tad bit lovelier.
Thank you. I'm glad you said that. Well, I'm glad to be here, and I'm glad to be looking you across the podcast area.
Thanks. This is our official recording studio, Blue Zone Recording Studios.
That's right.
And my name, of course, is Brian. I'm your friendly host. As we look back in time to some of the great new wave music of the 1980s. Our official show mission mentions that we talk about music of the 70s, but we haven't done that yet.
No, I don't think anything has taken us back that far yet.
No, but that's kind of a thing we put in there simply because I would like to talk about Queen and early Queen someday. I would like to talk about early Bowie.
Yeah. So we have a lot of grand plans for the future.
We sure do. So hopefully we'll keep at it. Right now, we're not doing too well at keeping on schedule.
We need to focus on the present right now and get some more content out for the folks, our faithful listeners, wondering where we've been the past couple of weeks.
But you know what thing is, our friends that listen are probably just as busy with the holidays as we are.
Well, I'd like to hope so anyway.
So we've been struggling a little bit to find time to do things, what with everything going on with the upcoming Christmas holiday, and we are here.
Yeah, we are finally squeezing this in.
So speaking of Christmas, we are going to have a Christmas giveaway.
Yeah.
Little drawing or contest that we're going to tell you about at the end of the show. So you'll want to stick around for that if you're a fan of vinyl and you're a fan of 80s vinyl.
Yeah, and if you're not, I'm not sure why you're listening. But...
That's a good question.
Yeah.
Up front, we have another thing. It's less exciting because it's not vinyl. It's a digital download, which... At least to me, I still haven't really embraced digital downloads as much as CDs or records.
Right. You still like that physical presence and physical manifestation of the music instead of it just coming over in bits and bytes. Yeah, but we recognize that it's very convenient and certainly still a valid way of listening to and purchasing music. So
that's true. Earlier this year, with my friend Colby, I did a podcast on the Human League's 1981 album Dare, which I think is a fantastic record.
You're not alone.
And soon after we did that, Mr. Alan Hogg posted on Twitter a picture of this fantastic Human League Dare picture disc. It was a piece of vinyl that had the album cover right on the vinyl, and I could not stop looking at it. I kept loading that picture up. I saved it to my phone from his Twitter and just looked at it during the day and stuff, and I was like...
You became a little obsessed with it,
I have to get this.
Yeah.
So we went to a bunch of music shops, and I asked about it.
Yeah, you did.
Nobody had it. Everyone said they could order it, but no one wants to order anything to a store anymore.
No.
It's just as easy to order it to your house. So I finally did break down and just buy it online. But along with that record, that fantastic-looking record, thanks, Alan, came a little slip of paper that gives you a digital download for the Human League Dare. And I haven't used it because I have it on CD and I have it on vinyl and I have it on picture vinyl. So if you're someone who has listened to the show who is interested in the Human League but doesn't have Dare, I figured I'd give away this code.
Yeah, we need to help rectify that.
Yeah, So because it's a wonderful early 80s album. So here's the deal. It's just a digital download. It should work. It doesn't have an expiration date or anything on it. If it doesn't work, I apologize.
We'll figure out something.
No, we won't. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work.
Okay.
That's it.
We'll apologize profusely.
Yeah. So what we'll just do is send the show a message via Facebook Messenger, Twitter Direct Messenger, or email. You can get our email at the top of the show or on our website. Be the first person who sends me a message saying that you don't have the Human League Dare and you would like it, and I'll email you the code and you can get yourself a digital copy. It'll be fresh off the presses.
That sounds like a great deal.
If there's one, we can help one person maybe who hasn't heard the record the whole way through yet.
Needs to be introduced to this wonderful album. Let's let's help them out this holiday season. We're feeling very charitable, right?
We are feeling charitable because of nice people like our listeners who keep going on to iTunes and giving us nice write-ups.
Oh, correct. Yeah.
Since the last time we talked to you, we had a really, really nice, flattering 5-star review.
It was wonderful. From
Big John Lamb, iTunes user Big John Lamb.
Very nice.
So we wanted to let him know that we appreciated him taking the time to go out and say some kind words about our show.
Yeah, it was very kind.
It gave me a little inspiration to keep doing things the way we're doing, because I found myself as we got closer to Christmas trying to figure out a way to slack off a little.
Yeah.
Every chance I can get to slack off a little bit. So this time we're going to slack off a little bit with our choice of record that we're going to talk about this week. We are going to talk about, you know it, I know it, we all love it, Erasure's Crackers International EP.
Right. This is the first EP we have ever talked about, which isn't too surprising. There's not tons of them out there. Certainly more albums out there. And the whole point of this is mostly albums. But hey, this is a good one. And it's a good one to talk about at this time of year.
It certainly is, because this has traditionally been thought of as a Christmas EP.
Right.
Although in truth, that's not really as Christmassy as I was thinking.
No, and it's funny though. I mean, there is like one Christmas song on here. The cover of it is Christmassy, and that's about it.
Yep, I'd say it's roughly 25% Christmassy.
Yeah.
So, Crackers International was released November of 1988, which puts it right in between The Innocents, which came out earlier that year in 1988.
Right.
What month was that?
April. Yeah.
And their next album, Wild, which comes out in 1989.
Right.
And in the UK, I didn't know this, EPs are tracked on the singles chart.
Yeah. I did some reading on EPs and the difference between them in the United Kingdom and the United States and how they're classified. It's interesting that in the United Kingdom, the official chart company defines a boundary between EP and album at 25 minutes of maximum length or 4 tracks, not counting alternative versions of those songs. And in the United States, the Recording Industry Association of America, which is the place that decides whether things are gold or platinum, they define an EP as containing 3 to 5 songs or under 30 minutes. So it's crazy. Billboard, the place that we get all our chart information from, they don't care about EPs. They just count pretty much everything as albums, unless it's a single. So it's either a single or an album.
So in the U.S., where this was charted on the top 200 album chart, this one hit number 73.
Right.
And that was a bit of a step down after The Innocents, which hit number 49 earlier that year. I was kind of surprised that The Innocents only hit number 49.
Yeah, I know. It had 2 great hits in America. I don't know why it didn't do better.
Yeah. Erasure's chart history in America is so mind-boggling.
It is.
To me, because they had those 2 great hits. And then it's going to be a good number of years before they have another hit.
That's true. Yeah, they had a big dry spell in America.
Top 40 hits, of course, we're talking about, not dance hits or alternative hits.
Exactly. Yep.
So, and then how'd the album do in the UK?
Oh, it did very, very well. It was one of their most successful releases. It was number 2, in fact, and that was as high as they'd ever gotten, except for with Sometimes, which was in 1986.
And that's number 2 on the singles chart, as we said.
Yes, the singles chart, believe it or not.
Now, last week we talked about how we often like to throw Ireland into the mix.
Oh, yeah.
Just because they always seem to enjoy our bands, and it's another chance to give our groups a little bit of a pat on the back.
Yeah.
So where did it chart in Ireland? Did you write that down?
I actually did not this time.
You didn't?
No, but did you?
I did. It also, good. It also hit number 2 in Ireland.
Okay, good. I actually kind of ignored the other countries this time. I don't know why. I'm very sorry about that. Glad you had the Ireland information written down.
So also in the UK, not only did Erasure release Crackers International, they released Crackers International Part 2.
Yeah.
Do you have notes about that?
Oh, I do. It was a limited version. It was released originally in 12-inch vinyl, and it had extended versions of Stop and Knocking on Your Door. Both of them were remixed by Mark Saunders.
And those are the same mixes that we got on our US version, right?
Right, I believe so. So they had to get a special version of the record for those.
Right.
But it had another special song on it.
It sure did.
The Christmas standard, God Rest Ye Merry Gentlemen.
That's right.
Yeah.
So that's your big difference between your American Crackers International and your UK Crackers International. The UK had the 4 songs that we're going to talk about.
Yes.
And the US version had those same 4 songs, but also each side had a remix by Mark Saunders.
Right. So it ended up being 6 songs.
Right.
Still an EP by our standards, really.
Still, it was a little longer, but we got those bonus mixes, and then in the UK, they were part of that very limited pressing.
Right.
All right, Sarah, now, I know from talking to you during the week, we talk a little bit as we go about our daily lives. We are in touch every now and again.
Yes, indeed.
I know that you were kind of focused this past week on information about a guy named James Marsh.
Yes.
I have just a few notes, but you were so involved with him and looking into this situation. Why don't you take the lead on this?
Yeah, I got really interested in the cover art for this and have lots of information on this and also for the Crackers International Part 2. So the cover art for the regular version of Crackers International was designed by James Marsh, and he is probably best known for being the artist for Talk Talk. He has done all of their artwork since their very first album cover.
Oh, they have some really cool covers.
Yeah. The first one, it's very iconic. You remember it's a white cover. It's got a face drawn on it, but instead of there being eyes where there should be eyes, there are blue lips, and then there's red lips where the mouth is.
And there's like a gray border around it. I think.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And in addition to doing that, he's done a whole lot of stuff. He's been around a long time. He's also done covers for Time magazine. He did those a lot of those in the 80s.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, that must be because he is an artist of integrity. He would never steal anything or do anything untowards, huh?
Yeah, I don't know about that. Because the cover art for Crackers International was definitely inspired, at least, by a stamp that was issued by the Soviet Union for New Year's 1977. Since in Soviet Russia they frowned upon religion, they never issued Christmas stamps like we do here in the United States. I assume they do in the UK. They did New Year's stamps instead.
Uh-huh.
If you go to the James Marsh website, there's an older section that's called Pastiche, and the Crackers International cover is shown there, and it says Russian pastiche. And pastiche, it's when you imitate or pay homage to another work of art. And so I guess you can use the term here, but I found the picture of the stamp that was the cover is based on. And man, I don't know if it's pastiche or a ripoff, but
I looked at it over your shoulder, and it looked.
It's very, very similar.
Very similar.
So there's another term that it's often used in comic book art, and it's called swiping.
Yeah, we hear that all the time.
Yeah, and it actually seems to be more like swiping than pastiche because it's so close to the original stamp. And we'll have pictures of that up on our website so you can see.
That's right. Yeah, we'll put it with the show notes. If your podcast app shows you the pictures in the show notes, you'll see it right there.
Yeah, because I want everyone to be able to see how closely he modeled his album cover off of this stamp.
I really like the album cover, but
I do too.
It is. I have to say that it's not really the image itself that has always grabbed me as much as the colors.
Yes.
On the album cover,
yes,
they're
very
so vibrant,
bright, bold colors. They're great for a holiday kind of festive theme.
Yeah, they really are. So I was a little surprised to find out that it was a theft.
It really seems like it. I know he's saying pastiche, and maybe in technical terms it's not exactly the same, but I'm telling you, it's really close.
Now, something I thought was interesting was the origins of the album cover for the Crackers International Part 2.
Oh yeah. This is even more interesting. Now that one has much more subdued colors, as you may recall, and we'll probably post a picture of this as well. It's just lots of blues and whites. It's a snowy scene, kind of snow sprinkling down with some trees and I think a little creek or something. Well, he didn't rip that off from a Russian stamp.
No.
He ripped it off from himself.
Which I guess he's entitled to do.
Sure. You can reuse your work, He basically cropped an image that he designed back in 1979 for what I think was a corporate Christmas card. And the actual entire card has a part at the top where there's a hand holding a box of laundry soap, and it says Yuletide, new improved version or something like that.
New improved Yuletide.
Yeah, new improved Yuletide. And out of that is sprinkling what we see to be snowflakes. And so he just cropped that stuff off and just has the snow falling down. You don't know where it's coming from in this picture on the album cover. But,
yep.
Yeah.
And I actually like that card. It's really neat.
Oh, I know.
And it's pretty clever.
It's really clever.
But you can, as you can tell, it sort of seems like he's just kind of putting minimal effort into the album cover for this project.
Yeah. Kind of chinsing out there.
Yeah.
But it was a limited release, so he probably figured, not a lot of people are going to see this anyway.
And speaking of kind of a lackadaisical attitude towards one's work, I think we're going to see the same kind of attitude reflected in the video for the first song off this record, which I'll go into a little bit more detail.
Well, I have even some additional thoughts on that. Maybe not necessarily lackadaisical, but maybe hasty. Mm-hmm. So my question is, do you know if this was more Andy's idea or Vince's idea to put together?
I do not know. There's not very much information about this
No.
record out there, and at the time, it was difficult to find out stuff about these groups because there was no internet.
Right.
So it's one that has sort of always been wrapped in a little bit of mystery for me.
Yeah, and I didn't find too much about it myself. So I don't know if they collaborated on this or if one of them said, hey, let's do this. I kind of think maybe it was more of Vince's idea just because I feel like he had a lot of musical ideas at this time and he wanted to work with. I think some of the songwriting indicates to me that Andy was not super into it at the time or maybe didn't have a lot of time to work with lyrics. That's my guess. On the other hand, I do think that Andy is probably a bigger fan of Christmas than Vince, so it could have been that Andy wanted to put something out for Christmas.
Who knows? I know Andy was the one who wanted to do the ABBA-esque EP.
Yeah.
That was kind of his thing.
Yeah.
But I don't know about this one.
I don't know. It'd be interesting to find out. You do get the sense, I think, that this is, especially in hindsight, you can tell this is a transition between The Innocents and Wild. Like, you can hear things that, elements from both albums on this EP.
I don't hear very much from The Innocents on here.
I think there's some musical elements that sound like The Innocents.
I thought maybe a few things, if you're being generous, in the second track that we're going to talk about today.
Yeah.
But other than that, I really couldn't. I sort of saw this as a step backwards musically, and I attribute that by the absence of producer Stephen Hague.
Oh, okay.
I think he is just a really, really talented producer who I think took Erasure to the next level with The Innocents, probably a couple years before they were really ready to get to that level.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, I forgot to mention, and we didn't either of us mention, that this is actually a self-produced little ditty from them. They didn't have any help on it like they did with The Innocents or Wild or.
Right, they had people mixing.
Yeah, they had people mixing it, but no other producers. It was all them.
To my ear, to my new wave trained ear,
yes,
I've always thought that the natural successor to The Innocents from the Erasure catalog was the album Chorus.
Oh, that's interesting.
Just based on the way it sounds.
Oh, okay.
I like Wild a lot. There's really good songs on Wild. There's some songs that I'm not too crazy about.
Yep.
But Wild and Crackers International just sound sort of like step backwards to me.
Oh, okay.
And then Chorus is all of a sudden they're back to where they were in 1980, early 88 with The Innocents.
Right.
We can talk about that in the years ahead as we talk about more of these Erasure records.
Yeah.
We don't want to get too in the weeds with it right now.
No. Let's focus on the one in front of us.
So you mentioned that they produced it themselves. They still have some help from talented folks in the mixing board and, two mixers that both caught my eye.
Oh, okay.
As being people of interest to me based on my love of Erasure. And the first one was a guy named Mr. Phil Legg.
Oh, okay.
Now, the reason he caught my eye when I saw that was because of this 12-inch single, which I have sitting on the table. When you came down, you said,
why is that there?
Erasure, Heavenly Action. But it's actually my U.S. 12-inch single of Who Needs Love Like That.
Oh, yeah. But the back
has Heavenly Action on the back. I was always bemused by the note on the back here. It said, Heavenly Action assisted by P. Legg, N. Hine, and P. Legg.
He gets two name credits?
Yep. I was always, as a kid, I would sit there and I'd read every note inside of a record release and see who did what and stuff. And I would always be like, well, are there really two? Is there maybe Phil Legg and then Paula Legg or is it a mistake that they put his name twice? And I never forget. And because it's just P. dot, they only use first initials on this.
Yeah.
I never really found out. But because of that, I don't always think of P. dot Legg, but he's in my head.
Okay.
So when I saw his name here, I was like, oh, there's P. dot Legg. So I was happy to see
Hopefully
his name.
The other one isn't Peg.
Yeah, really, Peg Leg. That'd be terrible. So Phil Legg is just kind of interesting because through the years he worked with a lot of people that we enjoy. He worked with Erasure, obviously. Mm-hmm. He worked with Boy George, worked with Depeche Mode, worked with the Waterboys.
Oh, okay.
And amongst other people, I also saw he worked with Lisa Stansfield. So those are some cool folks.
Yeah.
And then I saw that in the year 2000, he founded a company, I guess, called Future Proof.
Oh.
Which started as just like a club night, like an organized club night.
Oh, yeah? Okay.
But then it grew over the years into a big promotions company, which is now focused on promoting new music acts on radio, TV, in clubs, and online.
Wow.
So
how about that?
He started as a mixer and sort of became more of a businessman. Which I thought was kind of interesting.
That is.
And then a name that we mentioned earlier, Mark Saunders.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Who did those two remixes.
Correct.
He remixed those singles. He also did some mixing on the EP proper. But that's a name that I instantly recognized, not from his work with Erasure.
No.
But because he is the producer of an album by one of my favorite bands, The Mission.
Oh.
Here in America, they're called The Mission UK. But there's one album which most people attribute like the downfall of The Mission to.
Oh, no.
It was an album called Mask.
Oh, I remember that one.
And they really changed their sound because they figured they wanted to do something different than just goth rock, and they added some different elements to their music. And I thought Mask was a great album. I still remember the weekend that I bought it, poring over those liner notes and stuff. And I remember that album was produced by someone named Mark Saunders.
Oh, okay.
So my thought of him is that he's a producer, but it turns out he actually does a lot more mixing than producing.
Oh, interesting.
So he also is the person responsible for Depeche Mode's Strange Love 88 remix.
Okay.
He did that. And then most remarkably, I was kind of impressed. Mark got the call from Mr. Robert Smith of The Cure.
Really?
He became Robert's personal choice to mix all of the singles off of Disintegration.
No kidding.
For radio, because Robert thought that he, would be able to make those, optimal radio friendliness for each of the songs. And then Robert asked him to mix the entirety of the follow-up album, Wish.
Wow.
So those are some interesting things that these guys went on to do.
Yeah. I like how all this stuff ends up being connected.
Yep, everybody can be tied back to another group.
Yeah.
Through some means.
So true.
All right, so real quickly, do you have any sort of personal history with this record?
This is another one that I'm really not sure about. I feel like I have known this record almost as long as it's been out, but I don't know if or when I had a copy of it. And I think that it probably would have been a pain to copy just because you used to use, most of the time, you liked 90-minute cassettes. And this being so short, I don't know what you would have put on the rest of even the first side, and let alone on side 2. Even a 60-minute cassette would have been a bit of a pain.
Well, I probably did not copy it for you because I actually didn't own this at the time either. I'm pretty sure that my friend Hans was the one who got this one.
Oh, really?
And I think I copied it from him. Now, I do have a really vivid memory and what I consider to be an interesting personal history.
Okay.
With a song from Crackers International Part 2.
Oh.
Because when I went away to college the first year, I was friends with a guy named Sean, who had a job working on the college radio station. And I was talking to him because I was kind of interested in doing that same thing.
Yeah.
But in that time period when I had met him and wasn't involved with the radio station myself, they were playing that God Rest Ye Merry Gentlemen 45 on our college station around Christmas. I remember listening to it and recording it when I was studying for finals. Mm-hmm. And Sean came over to look at my 12-inch single collection because he was really into the same kind of dance music. And he wanted my copy of Bronski Beats' Hit That Perfect Beat.
Oh,
he was like, I can't believe you have this. And I was like, that's a great song. He's like, would you trade this for anything? And I was like, no, I love that song too much. But then the next day in class, I was thinking to myself, if I can pull strings and make Sean go to the radio station and steal that Erasure 45 for me, I could give him that Bronski Beat. So I told him, hey, if you steal that Erasure single...
Oh, my gosh.
I'll give
Criminal
you
mind
beat.
Strikes again.
Yep. So I'm not going to tell you whether or not Sean did steal the record for me. I will say that years later, I had to buy another copy of Bronski Beat's 12-inch single for Hit That Perfect Beat.
Interesting.
So there's that.
Yeah, and I wonder if the jukebox has a copy of God Rest Ye Merry Gentlemen in it right now.
Jukebox is totally empty right now. Last time I looked over at Blue Zone headquarters.
Oh, my goodness.
I think they're getting it ready for Christmas.
Oh, all right.
I think they emptied it out to put Christmas records and some new records in there.
Interesting.
All right, well, let's take a listen to the first track on side 1 of Crackers International.
Let's do that.
And that is the song that I think we mentioned a second ago.
Funny name for a first song.
Yeah, this one's called Stop.
Yeah, this song Stop, it doesn't even sound like you would ever want to stop. To me, it's like gets going from the very beginning and it just keeps going and you don't want to stop.
No, you can't stop with that bass going.
Yeah.
That bass and those
I mean, the intro,
electronic drums. Just
from the intro, that crazy sound you hear grabs your attention right away. That almost sounded like Baymax. You can tell it's going to be an energetic, exciting song, and it's so springy and bouncy, and that makes it funny to me that it's called Stop, because it's just you just want to do the opposite of stop. And yet it's actually a very short song, all things considered.
Yep, very short.
Not even 3 minutes.
Nope, I never knew that till today.
Yeah, I never thought about it as being a short song. Like a lot of the ones we talked about on Head on the Door, those were pretty short songs too. I think this is the same, where it's deceptively short because it's just so jam-packed full of stuff. It's very efficiently designed just to really make the most of every second, I think.
Yep, we get some great Vince Clarke keyboard riffs in this one.
Oh my gosh, so many of them.
It's chock full of them. And for the most part, these types of riffs are going to disappear more or less after the next album, Wild. Vince kind of takes a step into a different kind of songwriting, and you don't get all those great dun dun no no no, all those kind of riffs that you would get in his early records. You'll still get them occasionally. Breath of Life on Chorus has a pretty good one.
Yeah.
And every now and again. But if you listen to like their 2 albums ago, the one with the
Violet Flame?
Violet Flame, yeah. Like none of those songs have Vince Clarke sounding trademark riffs. They're just more like dance songs. All synthesizer songs, but you don't get those riffs. But this song is a treasure trove of riffs.
Yeah, classic Erasure, classic Vince Clarke riffs. It is wonderful.
Yep, and you get that wonderfully robotic sounding accompaniment behind the vocals, and the bass especially is what I really like about this song. I think that the way they program the bass sounds amazing.
It's so simple, but it's so important in keeping that springy, bouncy feeling going. It's really very well done.
Yep, and we get those great sound effects that you mentioned that you hear right at the beginning.
Yeah.
It's not even really music.
No, it's just noises. And,
but they sound great mixed in with the all electronic soundscape of the song.
Correct. Yeah, there's so much, again, it's just chock full of stuff. But it was really hard for me as I was listening to this to focus on all those little layers and bits and pieces because of the keyboard riffs are so darn catchy, and I just keep focusing on those and listening to that part. But if you just take a little listen more, there's a lot going on.
Oh yeah, and there's one riff at the 55-second mark. It's one of those riffs that only Erasure would play.
Yeah.
It's a total Erasure.
Is it in the second verse?
Yeah.
Yeah. Dun, 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 dun. Yep. That is, I have a note I said, that is so perfectly Erasure. That's exactly, yeah.
You could hear that riff and someone could ask you who that is, and there's no question.
Yeah,
you would
Vince
get
Clarke
it
in one.
Yeah.
Yep.
I also, of course, love the drum machines in this one. Really high energy, really fake sounding.
Well, I don't think they all sounded that fake all the time. I think there's some that sound pretty organic.
Well, I sort of was getting confused with my notes. The next song is the one that I think is totally fake sounding.
Oh, yeah.
But this one, I do love I just love the high energy. They do a really good job.
Yeah, and there's some sounds that I think kind of sound like mechanized castanets. That's what I decided they sounded like.
Oh, okay.
Based on our thorough discussion of castanets in our last album, Into the Gap, I think there's some sounds that kind of remind me of castanets, but they're much more electronicized. It's pretty cool.
Let me just get back to the bass again, just because I love it so much.
All right.
There's a section around 1 minute and 55 seconds that is just the bass. It's a lot of stuff has happened, and then it cuts everything out except for the bass.
Okay.
Man, if you made that section like 3 minutes long, I would groove all over the house to it.
Oh, goodness.
That part is amazing.
All right. So that would you consider that being in the middle 8?
Well, this goes back to something that we said a couple weeks ago. I always think that middle 8s have to have words.
Right.
And anything that's not words, I just call a
musical interlude.
Yeah, mid-song musical interlude or something. So I don't know if it's a middle 8 or not. All right.
Well, in that section, I think there's some really good keyboards that actually kind of sound Christmassy to me. And I think to help maybe emphasize that idea, in the video, Andy is ringing some bells, kind of the kind of the kind of bell choir would use. Of course, he's doing it very much unlike a bell choir would do, but I think they're trying to make that connection there.
All right, so since you mentioned it, let's talk about the video.
Oh,
let's skip
do
to there,
it.
even though I'm not really ready to go to it.
Well,
but this video is not one of Erasure's better efforts.
No.
This looks like it was made so hastily.
Oh my gosh.
And so cheaply.
Yeah.
But really, I guess there's nothing wrong with it.
I'm glad you said that.
It's a 3-minute music video.
Yeah.
And music videos are not, a pop song is a pop song, and it's not great art on most occasions. So if you make a cheap looking video, oh well, that's fine. I can't find who directed it.
Oh, okay.
I was trying to find online who it was, and I cannot find any information. But I wanted to try to shame somebody publicly.
Yeah. What's the name they use for movies when they don't want anyone to...
Oh, yeah, when you want your name taken off of it. Oh. It's Alan Smithy.
Oh, yeah, Alan Smithy.
This is an Alan Smithy production.
Yeah, I guess so.
The one good thing about the video is that Vince looks like what I consider to be classic Vince.
Oh, yes,
which is just basically him wearing a black leather jacket.
Yeah, it's like just can't get enough,
yeah, exactly.
Really.
He looks like how he looks in the...
Yeah.
Yeah,
he's looking kind of tough.
I like that look a lot. And I also like that he isn't playing any keyboards in this one. He's just using those big machines and
it's
turning
like
dials
a
and
big
plugging.
Switchboard or something.
Yeah. I bet you that's some sort of real electronic musical equipment that he probably
no
used.
doubt. Yeah.
I guess you just probably program it ahead of time somehow, and then you can turn on those samples or something with the switch.
Yeah, it's like a much, much, much bigger version of your mixing board turned on its side and like quadrupled.
Yeah, but there's no keyboard interface to it.
No, there was like cables and stuff. It really did kind of look like a switchboard.
Yeah, so I don't understand what he's doing, but I like it. I like what he's doing.
I was a little concerned for him because sometimes it didn't really look very stable. Like it looked like it could possibly topple over on him.
Crush him.
Yeah, because it was just these things that that weren't attached to anything. They're just sitting on this little flimsy table, and he's bopping around. You know, he's grooving to the music too, to some extent. And
you're giving me a flashback to the Tommy Knockers by Stephen King when somebody gets crushed to death by a Coke machine.
Oh, man. Well, thankfully nothing bad happened to him, but I did worry for him a little bit watching him because they just didn't look like they were really very stable. And I also wondered, I'm glad you said that you thought this was a good video, because I was wondering if you were a little bit scared about it.
I didn't say it was a good video. I said it's cheap and hastily made, but that's okay.
Yeah, okay.
I don't think it's a good video. But
you're not.
I wasn't scared, even though
that's what I was wondering.
People's faces are green in parts of
there's
it.
Like all
the
kinds
Cure
of
video.
Yes.
Yeah.
There's like black, and then there's blue and red and green colors flashing all around, and it really did remind me of In Between Days.
Well, it didn't remind me of that because it wasn't quite as hideous.
Okay.
But I have a problem. If you're going to do a song called Stop and your room is going to be filled with traffic signs and stop lights, traffic lights, don't use red and blue and green. Use red and yellow and green, the colors that are on the traffic lights.
And they do show in the very beginning. They show a traffic light with red, yellow, and green.
Yeah, and then they go on to
and
use
then
blue.
It's red, blue, and green. Yeah,
didn't make any sense.
I don't know what happened.
That's
there.
Alan Smithy. He doesn't think things through.
That's right. Yeah, that's why he's not credited.
Yeah, and I'll tell you who else I have a problem with now that we're getting rolling and I'm getting fired up.
Oh boy,
I got a problem with Andy Bell.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because he's doing two things that I don't like in this video.
Oh yeah.
One, I don't like when artists wear their own merchandise in a video.
I thought that was very funny that he was wearing an Erasure t-shirt.
I don't like that.
Clearly
I only like
Innocence.
it when Simon Le Bon does it.
Really?
Yes. Simon Le Bon can do it all he wants.
And then you will promptly buy whatever he's wearing.
And I'll immediately, like a zombie, go to the merchandise table and buy. Even though before the concert I declared that shirt was lame, I'll watch Simon wear it, and then I'll have to have it.
And you'll go return the one you bought and have it exchanged for the one.
No, I didn't return it.
I thought you had.
I just got two shirts.
Oh, yeah, well.
The second problem I have with Andy Bell is he's coming off a hit album like The Innocents. It was an international hit album all over the world.
Right.
That shirt is so thin. It's so sheer looking. I hate white T-shirts that are so sheer you can basically see through them.
Yeah.
It's a terrible look on anyone. Even if you have a lot of muscles, you look terrible wearing a shirt that cheap. So this video is going to be seen all over the world to promote your new single.
Yeah.
Wear a better shirt.
Okay. Well, I'm glad you didn't have any complaints about his dance moves.
Oh, his dance moves are kind of silly.
Yeah.
I imagine sort of it would be like if I was told to film 3 minutes of dancing. That's probably how I would dance.
Well, that's what I love about it. I mean, I think it is like a lot of like white guys dancing. Even me, I think I'm not any great dancer. And he's just kind of spinning and flailing. But I love how natural and uninhibited he is. It is just so real. And that is just like Andy and so many other parts of his life. He's not trying to pretend he's anything. Nope. He's not. He's just doing his thing.
Yeah, that's great. He's a great attitude.
Yeah, it's awesome. So he's just like doing whatever and just spinning, and nobody told him not to, and it's fun. I think it's great.
His dancing is great, and I'm not really mad at him about wearing that cheap shirt.
Well,
I was just acting like I was fired up.
I know. You would never wear that yourself, of course.
No, I never would. And like you said, the part that I really do enjoy out of all of it, there is one thing I like. I like when he suddenly has the handbells.
Yes.
To try to simulate that keyboard that we know is not really a bell.
Not at all. But yeah, it's funny, and he's like going like crazy with them. Yeah.
So the video is not great. It's not terrible though. It's just unremarkable, and
it's somewhat entertaining.
Yeah, I guess so.
You can't. You're not like cringing. I mean, you're cringing a little as you watch it, but not too much. It's only 3 minutes.
Yeah, right. It doesn't really overstay its welcome.
Not even 3 minutes.
Vocally, I don't think this song is one of Andy's best performances.
Oh, I am so glad to hear you say that.
And I can understand if someone who didn't know Erasure found his singing on this song to be just a little grating.
Yeah, and when we talked about Wonderland, I was not super complimentary about his vocals.
I remember you saying that sometimes, but on that album, I didn't understand. I didn't have any problems with him.
Yeah. This song, I think that his We'll Be Together Again is not the best lead off for a song or for an album or an EP. It just sounds a little bit weak. Having said that, I do like the backing vocals in it.
I love the backing vocals in this song. I think
those are great. Nobody never gonna disconnect us or ever separate us or say to us you got to. And the chorus itself, I think, is very great too, because it sounds very full and harmonized. But the verses, no, not so much. They're I think subpar for him.
Those background ahs that joined behind, they sound great.
I love those.
I really enjoy what the background vocals add to this song.
Yeah.
And I also my other thing I don't like that he does in this song is his tacked on vocal around the 49-second mark. Before you make a fool out of love. And then he just goes, ah.
Yeah.
It should have the vocal line should have stopped with the final syllable of the word love. I don't understand why he threw that other.
Why he went up at the end.
Yeah.
It didn't do him or the song any favors.
I really don't like that part.
Yeah.
Lyrically, this is pretty weak.
Yeah.
A pretty weak effort.
Yeah. This is what made me wonder if Vince was the one that wanted to do the project. Either that or Andy was having some kind of writer's block.
I don't know. But I do know that the second verse is exactly the same as the first verse.
Yeah.
Same lyrics.
Right.
It's just very repetitive and it's like sugary fluffed in the first place.
Yeah. Don't jump before your look. Get hung up on a hook.
I have a note about, I hate the line get hung up on a hook.
It's so stupid.
It is stupid. And it always makes me think of an old Michael Keaton movie called Johnny Dangerously, where
that's right.
I think the villain, I think it was Joe Piscopo or somebody, gets hung up on a hook.
Yeah.
Like actually gets.
He is on a hook.
And he's
like
on a door on a hook, and he says like,
my
never hang me on a hook. My dad hung me on a hook once. But every time I hear this line about get hung up on a hook, I think of that movie.
Yeah, it's just so, I needed a rhyme, and here's what I did.
Yeah. And it's very lame to have your whole entire second verse be the same as your first verse.
Yeah, really. Especially in a song this short. I mean, come on.
Yeah, exactly.
Having said all that, I still love this song. I think it's a super fun, danceable song.
Oh, yeah, it's still a great song. Didn't perform great in the USA, though. Here it was released as a single. Since the EP was on the album chart, this did get a single release, but it peaked at number 97 on our top 100. On the dance charts, it was coupled with Knocking on Your Door as a double A-side dance single, and that peaked at number 4.
Number 4. Well, that's pretty good.
Yeah, but like I said, I'm very surprised that it didn't chart higher, as the previous Erasure single, A Little Respect, hit number 14 and has proven to be over time to be a keeper. I mean,
you hear it
still know that song.
Yeah, sort of weird.
Strange. All right, so let's move on to the second and final song on side 1.
Okay.
And this is a song called The Hardest Part. This is a song that I always get confused with how many times from Wild.
Oh, okay.
If you asked me, if you said, here's 2 Erasure songs, how many times and The Hardest Part, which album are each of those songs on?
Yeah.
Half the time I would be wrong because I would just be guessing each time. I cannot keep it straight in my head.
Oh, wow, that's
which
funny.
Which of those songs is on which record. All week long as we were getting ready for this, I had to keep constantly looking it up.
Yeah.
Which one was which.
I can understand why you would get them confused. They're very similar.
And when this song starts, this is another one. There's no question who this recording artist is.
I know.
It's got a total Erasure
beginning
to it.
And I I still think that these keyboards sound like keyboards from The Innocents. And I don't know, I think it's the mid-tempo part of it, even though we were just saying how it sounds like a song on Wild. I think there are more mid-tempo songs on The Innocents than there are on Wild. So to me, it seems like it would fit better on The Innocents, but that's just me.
No, I don't disagree when you say that. When I started listening to this week to do this podcast, I thought that nothing on this album sounded anything like The Innocents.
Okay.
And that it was just a step backwards, all 4 songs.
Yeah.
But then as the week went on, and today I was listening, I would start the song just in the middle of the song. I'd hit play in a certain section, and I would hear something. I'd be like, that could have been on The Innocents.
I think the little sample that you played here and the dun 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 dun. That's that keyboard riff. That just sounds like something from The Innocents to me.
So this, I think, is a really wonderful song. And I think that the stars on this track are the beautiful vocals.
Okay.
I think we badmouthed Andy on that last one. I think he deserves accolades with this one. Both his melody line and his harmony vocals are perfect.
Oh, I love when he backs himself up with that higher voice. Oh, I love that. And then that part that I spend the rest of my life walking through the rain. I love that.
I'll spend the rest of my life walking through the rain.
Yeah.
It's so pretty.
There's so many nice sections of harmony in this song in the different sections. And the other star is the drum machine. The percussion in this one is wonderful, and it kind of develops throughout the song, but it never really does anything fancy.
No.
But I just love the way it sounds. It sounds like, I don't know this equipment. As we've been doing the show, we've been lucky enough to talk with some people online who really do know these equipment.
Yeah.
And they'll point out, like, if I say something like, I love this keyboard sound in this song.
Oh, that's a
occasionally
Yamaha
someone
DX7.
will write and be nice enough to tell me, like, oh, that's this keyboard.
Yeah.
So I don't know what drum machine this is, and I could be totally wrong, but this sounds to me like a drum machine that Vince Clarke may have used on the Yaz albums, the Yazoo albums. It just has like an old and really artificial sound to it to me.
Which you love.
Which I love. That's right. And this has great fill-in. I'm going to paste it in right here, the 1 minute, 20 second mark. This is awesome.
Let me fill your heart.
Oh, that was awesome.
Oh, I love how excited you get about fake drums.
I love fake drums.
Yeah, you do.
And you know what else is weird?
Tell me.
The funny thing about this track to me this week, listening to it, is that it's almost a full minute longer than Stop.
Oh, wow.
Because I've always thought that this was a really short song.
Yeah. I actually would have probably thought this was shorter than Stop if I had to stop and think about it.
This song has always just flown by for me, and I think it's because of the vocals. I mean, I just get...
Yeah, you just get wrapped up.
I get wrapped up.
Yeah. Well, I do love these vocals. I like when he sings low. I think when we talked about Wonderland, I complained about his falsetto, but I like when he sings low.
Me too, like in You Surround Me.
Yes, that's exactly. And in some ways, this reminds me of that, just because of how low he's singing.
Yep.
And it's good. But I also like when he backs himself up with that higher kind of sounding. But that's not falsetto. That's just kind of his normal voice, but it's very strong. It sounds just great.
Mm-hmm. The keyboards in this song are pretty wonderful. Particularly, I wrote down the 1 minute and 40 second mark. I'll play it right here.
I'll spend the rest of my life walking through.
All right, so I pasted the sound in there.
Yeah.
And we had a little confusion about what it was.
Yeah,
but it's those
high stuff.
Things that are sort of just like
chiming,
twinkling
kind
up there
of
like
twinkling.
Star.
Yes, twinkling like stars. That's beautiful.
I really like those keyboards, that sound.
Yeah, well, I like that sound. I like the whole riff that he does in the instrumental break.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh, that's so perfect. It's just classic Vince, and it's so effortless. Just perfect.
When Vince gets a purely Vince Clarke sounding keyboard riff, I love those more than almost anything in music.
And he just kind of knocks it out, and it's just sitting there, and you're just like, oh, this is wonderful.
There's only 12 notes? You have G through F and then some sharps and flats in there.
Yeah, okay. So
there's some number you all know. I'm going to say 12.
Yeah.
I can't believe how many times he takes that same set of notes and just makes these great riffs, and they're all different. And some people say they sound alike because they're all synthesizers, but they don't.
No.
He's just so good at it.
Yep.
Oh, my God.
Yay, Vince. We love him.
I love Vince Clarke. That's one of the things I'm thankful for. Here as I do my end of the year recap of things that I'm thankful for throughout the year.
Yeah.
Thankful that we have Vince Clarke with us.
Yeah, and he's living in our country now, too.
He is.
Pretty cool.
at this point in time, well, actually, throughout all of Erasure's career, more or less, they can always be counted on for like one incredible show-stopping ballad per album. There's always one that really, really shines. And we talked about that on Wonderland with My Heart So Blue.
Oh, right.
Especially these early years are the ones that I think of, but we had Spiraling.
Oh, yeah.
On Circus Piano Song.
Oh, beautiful.
On Wild, Home.
Oh,
is one of the most beautiful songs on chorus.
Yes.
And then we
Absolutely.
have this one here on this EP, which I think is just a wonderful ballad.
It is. It's gorgeous.
And as you know from as we've talked about these albums for the past year or so, you know that I always sort of prefer the quick up-tempo songs.
Yeah.
But, you know, these Vince Clarke ballads are they're just too good to disregard simply because they're slow.
Right. Yeah.
He works magic.
He does. I have no disagreements with any of that.
Like I said, I love this song. I love this song more than the previous song, Stop.
Wow.
Yep.
That is a big surprise considering what you just said about how you love dance songs.
I know, but I've always loved this one.
Yeah.
And I think this has been a great first side to a pretty strong EP.
Yeah.
All right, so now we finished talking about Erasure, but we're in the Christmas spirit. Like we said, there are some things here in the room. Christmas tree, Dickens Village. I'm wearing a Santa Claus hat, and we've been busy all weekend doing Christmassy things.
Yeah.
A lot of snowmen here in the studio with us.
That's right.
Even though the show is pretty long at this point.
Yeah.
We have one more song we want to talk about today, just to help you get a little more Christmassy.
Okay.
And it's this one.
Last Christmas, I gave you my heart, but the very next day, you gave it away. This year, to save me from tears, I'll give it to someone special. Last Christmas, I gave you my heart, but the very next day, you gave it away. This year, to save me.
A song that is one of the true joys of the Christmas season in the month of December, something that really brings me a lot of happiness every time I hear it. It's the Wham classic single, Last Christmas.
I love that song.
Wouldn't be the holidays without that one.
I agree. It is just a tremendous Christmas song. It's a tremendous song, tremendous vocal. Oh, just so many good things about it.
So that song was released on December 5th, 1984 as a double A-side with the single Everything She Wants,
Yeah.
the fourth single off the Make It Big album.
Kind of funny you think about that. Everything She Wants for Christmas.
So that's something I didn't know. I didn't realize it had until we started researching it. There's a lot I didn't know about the song.
Yeah. There's a lot of information about this song.
And one thing that I didn't know was that it had such a hilarious picture sleeve for the single release.
Yeah.
That picture is
Oh my gosh, it's wonderful.
outrageous.
Yeah.
So we'll put that up. We have Andrew Ridgely dressed like a reindeer.
Yeah.
And George Michael holding a big Christmas
holding a
present.
Tree,
I think with some snow on them.
Yeah, they just look kind of goofy. It's great.
So this was a really strong single, and in the UK,
Oh yeah.
it would take a special song to hold this one from the number one spot. But
the Christmas number one, the very big popular.
unfortunately, this song never did hit number one.
That's so sad.
So what song do you think could keep this song from hitting number one?
Well, in 1984, there was a battle between Wham and Frankie Goes to Hollywood.
Well, wasn't that though?
They had released The Power of Love, and they actually hit number one with that in December. But that was not at Christmas.
Nope.
What happened was a little group called Band-Aid came together.
Band-Aid, yep.
And they produced a song called Do They Know It's Christmas? And that is what was number one in 1984 at Christmas.
That's right. So George Michael was on Band-Aid.
Yeah.
So he has only himself to blame.
Yeah, that's right.
He can't feel too bad, I guess, because he was on the number one song.
And did you know that Wham subsequently donated all of their Last Christmas Everything She Wants royalties to the Ethiopian famine?
I saw that. I didn't know it before, but I saw that as I was researching.
Yeah, I didn't know that either, but I learned it today, and it was great.
So that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
And another cool thing about the song is, although it didn't hit number one, it would go on to break the UK Top 40 in 12 additional years in the future.
Yeah.
I had them all written down.
They kept trying.
Yep, it's been in 12 different years. And even though the bookies right now online are telling me it's not going to happen, they're telling me Ed Sheeran is going to be the Christmas number one. I'm holding out hope that this year, as a tribute to George Michael, this song will hit number one at Christmas time.
Yeah, it's crazy how many times it did get on the charts between 1985 and 2017 even. It's the biggest selling single in UK chart history not to reach number one.
That's right. It is.
It's a kind of a sad, it's a great thing and it's not a great thing. Like, why wasn't this number one? It hit number 2 again in 1985. It was number 2. It was number 2 in 1984, number 2 in 1985, and then we could go on, but we won't.
Yep. Now, it did hit number 1 in Ireland, Germany, and Slovenia at various times.
Okay. You know another place it didn't hit number 1?
The United States?
Yeah.
Although it continues to be popular, I saw that last year, in the days before George Michael's death, the U.S. Top 40 chart compiled that week, it did hit number 11.
Oh, very good.
And, that was without the cynical push from his death. That was before he died. It had hit number 11. So it's still a popular song that people want to hear.
Oh, well, yeah. And we talked about digital downloads before. In November of 2016, the total U.S. sales of the digital track were at 751,000 downloads. So I'm sure by now it's even higher than that. And at that time, that was the 10th best-selling Christmas song, digital singles in their whole history.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I know that in 1984, George Michael was being interviewed by Smash Hits magazine, and he said he wanted this song to sell 1.5 million copies.
Yeah.
And as of December 2016, the song sold 1.8 million in the UK.
Right.
Plus those ones that you mentioned in the US. So it did.
Yeah.
It did exceed what he had hoped for.
Yeah, that's right.
Now, something else I didn't know about this song, just the craziness of the versions, like the...
Oh, I know.
The insane...
Yeah, there's like a lot of different versions of it.
So the original track, the original full mix of this track has never been released.
That is so strange.
In 1984, 2 mixes were released. A shorter 7-inch mix and then a longer Japanese 12-inch mix that's kind of missing a verse.
Yeah.
So the 7-inch mix has a little bit cut out of it musically, and that 12-inch mix has more music, but it's missing an entire verse.
Wow.
And then it's very hard to understand this part. I've tried reading a couple of different sources, and I can't pin down the date, but at some point, which must have also been 1984, a remix with re-recorded vocals appeared on the UK 12-inch, because the UK 12-inch had to come out around the same time as the 7-inch.
Well, right, yeah.
And that remix with the re-recorded vocals was called the Pudding Mix.
Yes, I saw that. I love that, the Pudding Mix.
So right now we have a 7-inch mix, a Japanese 12-inch mix. I think it was also in Spain. Then this Pudding Mix. And then in 1985, you mentioned it hit number 2 again.
Yeah.
So it was re-released.
Right.
That year, the 7-inch single that was released and hit number 2, that was an edit of the Pudding Mix.
Okay.
That was not the same 7-inch mix as the year before.
Oh, my gosh.
Now, that version has gone on to be used on almost everything.
That's the one that we all hear
then.
pretty much now. That's the one we're all familiar with.
And occasionally, the longer 1984 mix is used on compilations, but that shorter 7-inch mix that I mentioned, that has never come out on CD. No one has ever used that on a CD.
That's so weird.
And the Pudding Mix is what appeared here in America. We had an album, the third Wham album here in America, and I think in Japan as well, was an album called Music from the Edge of Heaven.
Yes.
And I think in the UK, the folks there got an album called Wham! The Final.
Yeah.
Which may have been some sort, I think it was like a compilation almost with a bunch of new songs on it.
Okay.
We didn't get that here in the U.S. We got Music from the Edge of Heaven, which had songs, mainly songs that were new to us, like 6 songs. And then we got
a new version of
this song and a new mix of the Wham rap.
Yes.
So it was kind of a hodgepodge of stuff, but it was still a really strong album. It works really well considering it's not really an album.
Yeah.
It's just a compilation. It still sounds really good.
Right.
Okay, so I read a great story in Rolling Stone.
Oh, I did see that story.
There's not much to the story, but I consider it great because one of the main people in the story is Mr. Neil Tennant.
Yes, indeed. I did see that.
You know about that story?
I do, and it was published just a couple of days after George Michael's untimely death, so they were talking about him and this song.
In the spring of '84, Neil Tennant visited Wham in Miami because Neil was still writing for Smash Hits, I think, and hadn't yet hit it big with Pet Shop Boys.
Nope.
He went to Miami to see what Wham was up to, and they were filming a video which would become, it would be the video for Careless Whisper.
Yeah.
But at the time, Andrew Ridgeley told Neil Tennant that Wham had already recorded a Christmas single for later that year.
Yeah.
And that was in the spring. And Andrew said that George Michael had written it in February and that it sent a tingle up his spine when he had heard the song. So Andrew Ridgeley knew it was going to be a good one.
Yep.
I also took a little bit of time to just read what I was interested to see what people thought about this song. Simply because I consider this to be just one of the key songs in my personal collection, my personal canon of Christmas classics.
Oh, yeah.
I consider this song to be up there with like Bing Crosby,
White Christmas,
and Andy Williams and stuff. Like I don't see any difference between them and this.
Yeah.
But I can see where some people might. So I just went out to get a sense of what people thought about it. So I was on a couple websites. I was on dailybeast.com.
Okay.
And they say that the song contains breakup, heartbreak, and wistful regret. Not exactly the fa-la-la of Christmas cheer. That's partly why people love it, because it's a holiday song with an emotional beating heart, one that acknowledges the sadness that can exist over the holiday, and it actually tells a story.
Yeah, that's great.
And I did like that write-up.
I do too.
TheAtlantic.com explained that the holidays bring with them the ritual of giving and getting, which forces vulnerability, gratitude, consideration of others, and expectations that are either met, exceeded, or disappointed. George Michael was playing with that fact. Him giving his heart isn't just a declaration of affection. It was a gift in a way that it couldn't be another time of year. And because of that, this song is about a truly special kind of pain.
Oh, wow. That's deep.
It is. It was deep. I like that. They talked about, the fact that she re-gifted his heart. I like using the re-gift.
Yeah.
It's already a terrible enough thing. And as it goes, but to re-gift a heart is even worse.
Oh, for sure.
And then, like I said, some people are simply against the song because it's from the 80s.
Yeah.
And that many have welcomed it into the canon of Christmas classics. In 2011, there's a site called the Owl, AWL.
Okay.
They blasted it, saying that it's a wallowing mess of a song that mistakes self-indulgence for closure, and that it contains a synthy falseness that would make even Paul McCartney and Wings wince.
Really?
Yep.
Oh, I don't think that's true.
Yeah.
I read in that same Rolling Stone article a very nice little write-up about the song. And did you see that too? Because I
must have.
I have it here.
Okay.
And they say, the plush keyboards bring to mind blankets of snow. The buried jingle bells. They do. The buried jingle bells sound icy in the context of a departed lover. And Michael's vocal performance from his resigned, well, it's been a year, it doesn't surprise me, on the opening verse, to the wailing open notes he lets loose as the song reaches its climax, showcases the serious soul chops he was honing during Wham's stateside breaking period.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
That's cool.
I like that.
Those synths, they do sound like snow.
Yeah. Okay, good. I'm glad you agree.
I like that.
And I kind of forgot there were jingle bells in it, but there are.
Oh, yeah.
There are some bells.
Yep, that's one of the best parts of it.
Yeah, but they're very subtle, I think.
I don't think they're subtle. I think that they really add to the atmosphere of the song, and probably those jingle bells being there kind of pull in some of the people who may initially be hesitant to embrace the song because of the synthesizers. I think that was a great move on his part to get those real jingle bells into the mix of the song.
Okay.
I really thought that was smart. So if you're listening to our podcast, odds are that you don't have an issue with a well-made 80s era song being considered a beloved holiday song.
I hope not.
I would think.
Okay.
This is definitely my favorite post-1950s Christmas song. Growing up, I always liked Do They Know It's Christmas a little better simply because it had everybody in it.
Yeah, yeah.
But now, if Do They Know It's Christmas was on one radio station and this song was on another radio station, I would probably put this one on.
Yeah, I think I would too.
I always greet my first airing of this song for the season with great joy and affection. I always get excited. Hey, I'm hearing this for the first time. I remember this year I went to work and went up to one of our friends and said to her, like, hey, guess what? Heard George Michael first time.
Oh, nice.
And she was like, oh, I haven't heard it yet. I can't wait to hear it. So I think people our age just love this song.
Mm-hmm. I would agree.
And I get so much joy from hearing it that it has really been years since I focused on the fact that it's not really a happy song.
Yeah.
I can sing all these words in the car. I can drive around, sing along with this.
Yeah.
And not really focus on the fact that I'm singing like
a song about heartbreak.
Heartbreak, yeah.
Yeah. Well, we've talked about that a lot in these different podcasts about songs that they sound real happy and friendly, and then they're really not about a happy, friendly topic.
Yeah, I guess we're simpletons.
I guess.
give us a nice beat.
Yeah.
Some good keyboards. We'll ignore anything you're saying. So the song in general, like we said, I think those synths are amazing.
Yeah.
If their sound keeps you from considering this to be a real Christmas song, then shame on you. You are a real Grinch.
I agree.
What do you think about the drums in this song?
Pretty fake.
Oh, they're so fake. Oh, man. I love it, man. I love those fill-ins.
Someone special. Last Christmas.
Yeah. Yeah, it is super fake.
And I don't know how to explain this. It was in that sample that I played.
Okay.
I'm calling it slightly off-sounding
well, that's
fill-in
syncopated.
patterns.
Yeah.
Is that what it is?
Syncopated.
Oh,
Yeah.
I love it. It sounds great.
Yeah.
I love it when those...
It's nice. It, shakes it up a little bit, makes it a little more interesting to your ear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is whatever this drum machine is. This is a drum machine after my own heart.
Do you want one?
I don't want it because I couldn't use it properly. But
okay.
Like if somebody today would make an album using this particular drum machine the whole way through, I would buy it.
Yeah.
Sight unseen, sound unheard.
Yeah. Oh, no matter what the music was, certainly we don't care about the words anyway.
No. And I kind of love that we get the chorus right away in the song.
Yeah, that's a different kind of tactic. We don't see a lot or hear a lot in pop music, but it's cool. I think it works well.
And because of the fact that choruses are usually great bits, the verses are good and the choruses are great. If you have like a classic song, the choruses are just soaring and draw you right in. That means right out of the gate here, we're drawn into the song because we get that great chorus.
Yeah.
And it pulls you right in. I think that review that you mentioned from Rolling Stone they were talking about how his vocals were so good. His vocals are always impeccable.
Yeah.
I'm not sugarcoating this or being generous because he passed away on Christmas a year ago. I have always said that, regardless of the song, his vocals, you can't say an unkind word about them.
I agree.
Even later on in his career, when I thought his material sometimes got a little too adult contemporary and maybe a little bit boring, the one thing I would never say was that his vocals aren't on par.
Yeah.
He's an amazing singer.
I know. We say the same thing about Freddie. I mean, he's an amazing vocalist no matter what you give him for material. And I think that's why a lot of people loved when George Michael sang Freddie, because he just did it really well. He knew how to belt out those notes and give a great performance.
Yeah, George Michael stole the day at that Freddie Mercury tribute concert.
He sure did.
Concert for Life. That was the best performance.
It was wonderful.
His version of Somebody to Love.
I love George Michael's voice. It's just so smooth and soulful and full and rich. And I can't say enough good things about it either.
Yep. And another person who said good things about George Michael and his singing, of course, was the aforementioned Freddie Mercury.
That's right.
We have an interview with Freddie where they're asking him who are singers that he likes at the time. And he mentioned, I still like Aretha Franklin.
Yeah.
He always listened to her.
Yeah.
And he said, and having said that, I also really like George Michael. And he said, I think he's a great singer. And then Freddie did a little thing where he said, although I should have been able to sing I Knew You're Waiting for Me with Aretha. I would have liked to sing that song with her instead of George.
Yeah.
But I always thought that was funny. Now, other than that great sounding chorus, my favorite part of the song is the part where we get that whispered, Happy Christmas.
Oh, you like that.
And right at that part, which is the start of the second verse, a new synthesizer sound comes in that's not in the first verse. And that sound is awesome.
Christmas, I wrapped it up and sent it with a note saying I love you, I meant it, now I know.
And the Happy Christmas, the whispered, dramatic reading of those words, and that synthesizer, they combine for pure pop music magic, according to my notes. That part is my favorite part of the song, other than that chorus.
Nice.
And that keyboard is in the second verse. The first verse and the second verse each have two halves, kind of the way I think about it.
Yeah.
And it's in the second half of each of those verses. That same keyboard sounds great.
Okay.
And then in the chorus, it's not any sort of particular music or keyboards that stick out to me, but it's the harmony vocals on the chorus.
Oh,
and the best thing is that every time he does the chorus, he doesn't do the same harmony. It's different every time.
You're right.
The harmonies that he does and the parts of the lines, the words that he backs
repeats.
up. It's different each time you hear it, more or less.
That really adds to the interest and the complexity.
It keeps things really interesting.
Yeah.
And they sound great.
Oh, yeah.
I guess I always knew that there was a sadness to the song. I just never thought of it as an overpowering sadness, more of just sort of like a melancholy sadness. And and then I ultimately went on to even forget that it was sad. But I don't think I ever really dwelled on it or felt bad for him, because in the last verse, he ends it by saying, now I found a real love, you'll never fool me again.
Yeah.
So I get the fact that he is a little sad when he thinks about what he had with this person. But I've always thought, these articles that I was reading, they focused on how sad it was. Well, I have always my whole life felt that he moved on to something that made him just as happy.
And you're exactly right to think that, because in the actual chorus, which is some of the first lines we hear, the second part of the chorus is, this year to save me from tears, I'll give it to someone special. Like, he's already got a plan. He's already moving on. So we find that out from the beginning. Yeah, last year sucked. This year's going to be better. So it's hopeful, if you ask me. It's not totally depressing.
Yeah, and that's what, like I said, that's what I've always thought. But these three or four articles that I read, nobody mentions that. They just talk about they focus on the heartbreak and stuff.
Yeah, but
I've always seen this as he has already recovered from it.
Yeah.
It's fine that he is having these slight feelings of regret or wistfulness or melancholy when he's confronted with the person again.
Right.
But he's already past it, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And seeing this person now is not going to spoil this Christmas that they're currently at with his new significant other.
Yeah. Although the video may belie that a little bit. It may not be quite as accurate there.
I would disagree with that, actually. And that's another thing. Like I said, when we started talking about it, there were many things I didn't know about the song. I somehow didn't know that there was a music video for this song.
Yeah, I never saw the video until I looked it up for this podcast.
Yeah, I never saw it until today.
Okay, yeah, me too. But boy, what a good video.
I don't know. We'll talk about it here briefly, and I'll have to see where you're coming from. I didn't really think that the video went against my thoughts for the song. But so the video is just chock full of beautiful 80s people.
Oh, yes.
Lots of hair that is wonderful. And it's just a bunch of young friends, couples that come together for the holidays, it seems.
Yep, they all go to a
ski resort. Yep. And they have a nice Christmas dinner, and they decorate a tree.
Yes, it's like a nice little montage of all kinds of things going on.
And Pepsi and Shirley are there.
Yeah,
Andrew Ridgely's there.
Yep.
George is there. And something that I thought was remarkable was that there are no sections of the video where anybody lip syncs the song. It's just sort of like a story.
It is totally the story of the song. And yeah, nobody's singing the song. They're just acting out the song, basically.
Right. And it turns out that Mr. Andrew Ridgeley is dating someone who has a past with Mr. George Michael.
Correct.
It seems like George and Andrew's current girlfriend had been together last Christmas.
Yes.
And George gave her a nice little pin.
Yes, very, very pretty little pin.
For Christmas. Which Andrew Ridgeley is currently wearing on his lapel.
Yes.
So she sort of regifted.
Yes, she did. And I think that's, kind of a reference to the song.
Yeah. But here's the thing.
Tell me.
George shows up with a blonde woman.
Yeah.
And when decorating the tree, George and his ex sort of have a meaningful stare.
Yeah.
When some tinsel drops on her head or something, he tries to catch it. But at the end of it, George seems perfectly happy to go off with his blonde girlfriend, and Andrew goes off with his current girlfriend. We do see scenes that show us what happened last Christmas.
Yeah.
With George and the brunette together.
That's true.
But none of that is happening now.
No. There was one scene when everyone was at dinner, and George was like in between two other people.
Right. He was at the end of the table.
Yeah. And he was staring down the table looking at other people, and he saw Andrew Ridgeley and his ex-girlfriend interacting. He saw that the brooch was on Andrew Ridgeley's lapel, and he was kind of looking moody and wistful there.
Yeah,
That's why
with fantastic hair.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Amazing
so much
hair in that.
Man.
In that cut. Yeah.
If only we could have that hair.
Oh my God.
But like that's where I kind of got the feeling maybe he was looking a little nostalgic and moody and like, oh, there's that girl. And
that could well be, but it doesn't negate the whole idea that at the end of the song, at the end of the day, and at the end of the song, he's happy with where he is now.
That's true. Yeah.
He just sees it and maybe is kind of. I would imagine he's kind of shocked to even see it.
Yeah. That's true. Yeah.
That's what I would think.
Okay, fair enough.
So, but that was a pretty cool video. I like all the snow and all
Oh, yeah. It's very festive, holiday. Yeah, it's right there. It could be in a Hallmark movie from the 80s.
Sure could, yeah.
If they had one.
So I thought it was pretty great. It was great to see Wham in their prime music video that I'd never seen before. I have no clue how I missed this one.
What a Christmas present to you.
It was.
Yeah, and lots of other people have enjoyed it too. As of today, the video that I watched on YouTube has had 295 million views.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah, it's amazing.
And it seems like a lot of recording artists like this song too.
Oh my goodness.
I was surprised by how many people have recorded new versions of it.
Dozens of people it seems.
So that's great too.
Yeah. So as much bashing as it may get, this song is still very highly popular, not just as it's on its own, but to redo and to cover.
That's right. All right. So that is the end of part 1 of our holiday episode, talking about some great Christmas music. Erasure, the Christmas EP, Crackers International, and George Michael's timeless holiday hit Last Christmas.
Indeed.
All right, so we said last thing we have to do is talk about our Christmas giveaway.
Oh, right, yes.
We wanted to try to do something special. We have had a great time this year doing the show.
Yeah, it's been a real fun experience for both of us.
And getting to talk to and meet everybody that we have online, it's been a real treat for us. So we wanted to try to do something nice to people who have taken the time to download our show and to reminisce about this great music with us. And so to that effect, we had a pretty good reaction from everybody to our Thompson Twins show.
Yeah.
So it seems like people really like them.
Yeah, I was pleased to see and hear all the reactions and praise and comments we got about the Into the Gap episodes, all 3 of them.
That's right. So anyway, we went out to a new record shop that opened in our area, run by some nice folks, and we picked up an old, sealed, never played version, a copy of Into the Gap by the Thompson Twins on vinyl, and we want to give that away as a Christmas present to a lucky listener.
Yeah.
So we want to give it enough time that people can download this. I know that everyone's busy with the holidays and may not get to hear this right away. So why don't we give this 2 weeks, Sarah?
Sounds good.
More or less, why don't we, between now and the 26th of December?
Oh, all right. So the day, so Boxing Day.
That's right. From now till Boxing Day.
All right.
And we're going to do a random drawing to give away Into the Gap by the Thompson Twins on vinyl. And all you have to do to get into the drawing, by any means that makes you comfortable, contact us, either Facebook Messenger, direct message on Facebook. You can do that on our show's Facebook page. You can use Twitter direct message or an email. You can get the email at the start of the show, or you can get it on our website. Just send us a message and let us know, of all the records that we talked about in our first 42 episodes, which one of those records is your favorite.
Oh, I like that.
Just so we can get a sense what people are enjoying the most.
Yeah, yeah.
So you have between now when you hear this, or actually now when I record this, on December 10th, and you have until Boxing Day, December 26th, to do this. Contact us, and everyone who sends us a nice message, or even a not a nice message, I guess, even though I won't be rooting for you if it's not
all
nice.
Your shows are terrible, but my favorite album is.
Yep, but everyone who writes in will enter you in a drawing for this Thompson Twins record, and we will wrap it up and send that to you via the post.
That's right. And
make sure you get that. So hopefully we will hear from some people. So
so there's not more than one.
Because I don't want to have to give it to my sister. She already told me she was going to enter.
Oh.
So if my sister's the only one to enter,
oh man,
it'd be terrible.
That's like kissing your sister.
All right, everyone. So thanks for tuning in this week. We hope you enjoyed it. We hope it made you feel a little Christmassy, and we hope you are enjoying the build-up to the holiday season.
Right.
To the holiday itself. This is the holiday season, I guess. So thanks for listening, and we will
talk to you soon.